Tokyo Renovation Diaries, episode number 4. Thank you so much for watching. This is a house tour when the house is clean, empty of stuff. And I could finally assess what I actually had bought in central Tokyo. I knew this was an 86-year-old house, abandoned. It was an Akia, but I couldn't assess how are the walls, how are the structure of the house. And this was kind of the first day. I'm happy to show you, and please let me know in the end if you have any questions at all. Let's get to it. Tokyo Renovation Diaries, episode number 4. So as I've told you in previous episodes, this house was empty. It was an Akia for over 10 years. And I'll give you a quick recap of the first 3 episodes in Tokyo Renovation Diaries before we dig into the real deal, the house tour, the empty house tour of my 86-year-old Japanese house in Tokyo. So as I've explained in previous episodes, I bought this with a condition as is. I was in charge. I was responsible for the trash disposal. And I spent weeks in here just cleaning and sorting things out. Is this of value? Is that of value? It was in an incredibly good condition. And I did find some treasures as well, like the kimono you saw in the first cut. And the vinyl collection you'll see soon. The vinyl collection was actually hidden in a secret room on the backside of this closet. I'll show you in a few minutes. Before spending a few $1,000s on trash disposal, this was the scenery. If you look at the walls on the backside here to the left, you see air sipping in through the wall, right? Honestly, I was pretty nervous at this point, but also excited to look at the house and to finally start the renovation. And by the way, look inside of the closet here. Do you see any indication that there is a vinyl collection behind that dirty wall? Nope. Is there a room there? I didn't think so. I saved beautiful things and things that might have value in one of the rooms upstairs. Also, a lot of people ask me, what did you do with the butsudan on the second floor? A butsudan is a Buddhist altar and is considered sacred waste. And don't worry, the trash disposal company I hired took care of this for me. All right, let's go. The space just immediately felt a lot bigger. And by cleaning everything out, I realized the house itself was tilting a lot. You'll notice it when you look at the squares on the walls. Nothing is straight. I planned on keeping these beautiful glass doors to the left here. And to put a sauna in this garden here. If you don't know, it's a huge sauna boom in Japan right now. It goes hand in hand with the Japanese onsen culture, I think. And there are fancy saunas popping up almost all over Tokyo. I also loved these pink tiles from the moment I saw them. But I wasn't sure if I was gonna keep the bathroom in the same place. Maybe move it to the other side of the house. And if so, maybe I needed to get rid of him, right? From this angle, you realize how steep the ladder here is. I mean, it's a staircase, but it's kind of like a ladder. The waste disposal company also did a big clean of the entire house. So it feels very clean and fresh. And pretty bright, right? You see the door there on the backside. Apparently that was for deliveries. Demaikan. Previous generations Uber Eats, if you say so. They were not supposed to use the same entrance as the people living in the house. When the house was empty, I realized I scored a jackpot. You see how bright this house is. And that's not common in Japan. especially not in central Tokyo, where we are right now. I decided to save a lot of big and beautiful chests and a lot of other things of value. I dedicated one room on the second floor for that. You'll see it in a minute. Even though it's bright, you see the doors are very tiny. The ceiling is very low. The staircase is very steep. And I knew immediately the staircase had to go. This is a direct danger, in my opinion. I couldn't walk up and down this staircase every day. In the beautiful bright tatami room here to the left, that's where I kept all the valuables. Beautiful paintings, kimonos, fishing gear, tables, old antique Japanese tea boxes, old Japanese beautiful tools. And then we have the vinyl collection here to the left. I actually found it the day before, but that's a separate episode. You see here, the previous owner used this room as an office space. That's why they had a separate kitchen, apparently. My neighbors told me. I wanted to save some of the traditional elements in this house, and I'm still using these shoji and fusumas, the sliding doors. I brought a friend of mine, a Mexican friend here, to have a look, and he's kind of doing the same as me, renovating old Japanese houses, and he told me, Anton, you shouldn't do too much with this house. It's beautiful as is. And I agree. But to some extent, I want to make it better. This is old, some of the parts. Outdated. It needs some fresh paint. Especially here on the second floor. And I also wanted to add a personal touch here. That's why I decided to make the first floor into a Hokuo house. A Scandinavian house. While the second floor, I wanted to keep it as traditional and Japanese as possible. Of course, I wanted to change the tatamis, the shoji sliding doors. And that's what I did in the end, right? Here you see the kiri no tansu, and on top of there are some of the kimonos with the beautiful obis, the belts as well. Everything wrapped in beautiful paper. I sent some of the kimonos back to my mom in Sweden, as I told you in a previous video. I still have some of them left here in Tokyo, but my youngest sister brought hers to LA, where she lives. And my mom in Stockholm is using hers almost every day, she says. I'll make a full video about the kimonos. Don't worry about it. Can you believe this was empty for 10 years? Not a single hole in these fusumas. But what about the vinyls? It's the vinyls, man! Jackpot!
Show me the vinyls.
This one is like 15 boxes of them. It's like 2, 4, 6, 8 bundles. In this hidden room on the backside. It took me 3 weeks until I even found this space. As you might understand, the previous owner was a record collector. And this collection has been displayed on NHK, it said in the beginning. Everything is dated, sorted, archived, meticulously, beautifully in this book. Do we have any record collectors out there? Someone who's interested in old, beautiful vinyls from Japan, mostly. The collection has almost 600 vinyls. And honestly, I don't really know what to do with them. I do believe this collection has value to someone. It did have value to the previous owner. Most of the collection is classical music, Beethoven, Mozart, but there is some jazz and other genres in this. This really had value to the previous owner, and it would be nice to give it back to someone. If you're a vinyl maniac or interested in vinyls, you might want to watch my next video in Tokyo Renovation Diaries. My idea is to sit down in a video, talk about this collection, translate it into English, and if someone is interested, or maybe know something about what's in this, does it have monetary value? Does it have a sentimental value to someone? Please let me know. Me myself, I'm not a record collector, and I don't know too much about classical music. I mean, I played the piano for 5-6 years when I was younger, and my sister is a musician. What fascinated me the most of this is the order and tidiness of everything. Everything in straight lines. Everything archived.